Back the neck. Get ready for this.
Right.
Warm up. Yep. All pumped up, warmed up. Got my stress ball. Let's go.
Welcome to a bonus episode of Not a Strong Start, the place where you have filmmakers like us talking about movies, shows, and whatever the hell we want. Today,
Yes.
you got me as your host, George, or otherwise known as Megan Fox.
And they got me along for the ride. Megan Fox, clearly. But with
Duh.
an H. With an H. I meant Megan
Yeah.
Fox with an H.
Yeah. And I'm, of course, Megan. Damn it, Megan.
We look just like them, though. You look just
Yeah.
like Megan Fox, and I look like Megan Fox with an H. I'm not lying.
Yeah. Well, I'm Megan Fox in preparation.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm getting,
You look lovely. Just a couple of shots of Botox later, you'll be
right?
exact.
Or just a
Yeah.
couple of shots in general. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. For me, I'm like, yeah, that looks like Megan Fox now.
Yeah. Y'all probably haven't guessed it yet, but today, me and Marie are going to talk about something that's very dear to us, which is the show Love is Blind. It's probably not the usual thing you all are used to, but we want to switch it up because, god damn it, are we addicted to this damn show?
Yes.
I'm ashamed almost that I am, but I can't help it. Pandemic happened a few years back. This show aired, and I've watched every season since. I don't think I've missed an episode.
I don't think you should be ashamed. I think if you love it, you should own it. But in all honesty, I don't watch reality shows like this. I've never seen The
Yeah.
Bachelor. I've never seen The Bachelorette. I've never seen any sort of dating show or any show, reality show about love, not a Kardashian show, nothing. But Love is Blind. It's special. I don't care what anyone says. It's special and it's different.
Yeah.
And let's just own it, George. No shame in our game, our Love is Blind game. No shame.
Well, like, I have to watch it by myself. My wife will not watch this with me.
I watch it by myself too because my
Yeah.
husband makes fun of me relentlessly for
Yeah.
watching it. Oh, it's so stupid and I'm like, I don't care. I love it.
Yeah. I get really bad with it because like I know she doesn't like it. She gets home from work and like I work at home, work as an artist, so I don't have to go anywhere. But I'm just like, you got to check out what happened today. All right. Today, shit went down. All right. Bitches be acting crazy. And she's just like unloading herself. She's like, all right, what happened? It's like, I don't want to hear it, but I'm about to tell you what happened at work. So I guess we'll trade off.
Yes. It is emotional work to be so invested in this show. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
especially this season. Okay, you wanna spill the tea? Look how much. Oh my God, I can barely lift it. Look how much tea I'm ready to spill. I'm ready. This is heavy as
Oh,
heck. There's a lot of tea in here, so I'm
there
ready
is.
for this day because I know this is like bigger than my head. This is huge. This is serious though. This is a serious topic we're gonna get
Yeah.
into.
I think this is going to be the most scandalous season yet, honestly.
Mm,
And every season we get some
yeah.
scandal. Before we get into it, like for people who don't know, who don't watch the show, first you're missing out. But second of all, pretty much it's a little different from other dating shows. But it kind of harkens back to like the old show from back in the day. I think it was like The Dating Show or something like that, or Find Me a Date or something, where pretty much you have one person and there's a wall, and behind the wall there's three people, and they have to ask them a question and figure out, oh, which one do I want to date? It kind of feels like that show, but
Dating
but
game or something?
it may have been The Dating Game. Yeah, it may have been that. I think
Okay.
it was a very simple name, nothing creative at
Mhm.
all. But this takes that concept and elongates it and puts the stakes much higher because it's like that's just a date. No, this is marriage. You have 30 singles put into a building where they will sleep and eat there for like 4 weeks, and there's a wall where they will just come and talk to each other in these cubicles, trying to figure out, is this the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with? Crazy. Crazy
Mhm.
as hell. I can't imagine taking 4 weeks and being like, yeah, I think random McGee over here is the one I want to spend the rest of my life with and have kids and stuff
Without seeing them,
without
without
seeing them.
touching them.
Yeah, which is a
And they
big
have to
deal.
decide. It's a huge deal, and they have to
Yeah,
decide that before they see each other.
yeah,
They propose before they see, and then they see, and then it's like, ugh, sometimes, like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's intense. But we love love so much. And it's really like romantic marriage type love. And it's also love based on your soul. It's not
yeah,
it's not superficial love for the most part. It's not supposed to be, not intended to be. So George and I
yeah.
are right on board with all this like sappy love stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the first season when I watched it, and I still to this day, when the first couple that gets initiated, and the guy's just like, I know she's the one, you know, and he puts on his suit and everything as she can see him, and he gets down on his knee. He's like, I'm on my knee right now. And she's just like, oh my gosh, oh my, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And he proposes, and it's just like, yes. Like I feel for it's like, get it, man. Go get it.
Um, I agree with you. Cameron and Lauren, is that the one you're talking about?
From season one.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. They oh
Oh,
man. Yeah.
I'm going back to season one here. This is what got me hooked. When Cameron, I still makes me want to cry, confesses to
Oh,
Lauren that when he's in love with her, and he's like, I love you, and then she's like, I love you too, and just her look. I cried so hard, I would YouTube that scene, just that
oh man.
scene, over and over, like every day, like so sweet, and they're still together.
They're like the Kelly Clarkson of this show. Of like
Yes.
honestly, like they've won. They've won Love is Blind, honestly. That kind of stuff it gets me. I'm just like I'm rooting for it.
Mm.
Like I don't want anyone to fail, but
No.
it's the failures though that keep us watching. That's the reality
Yeah.
of it all.
And the hope, and the hope, and the hope
Yeah.
for the ones you want, the hope, and also the failures and the guessing. Yeah, it's all great. It's perfect. It's a perfect show. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah. So that's the premise. Before we get into, let's take a moment to talk about where I've been getting these new Not a Strong Start t-shirts from. Head on over to itsnas.threadless.com, the only place where you can get Not a Strong Start merch, whether it's our newly designed mascot or just your favorite movie logo now with some Nas flair. You can rep your Nas love on tee, hoodie, mug, rug, and so much more. So get yours today. Just click on that link below and have yourself a strong start and not a strong, have a not a strong start, have a start that's strong, but not so strong. You know what to do. I had some questions though that I want to propose to you.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
No pun intended there on the proposing aspect.
Ah,
Uh, when I first saw this show, there was a thing I thought because they're all pretty people. Let's just admit this right now, okay? There's no ugly people on this show. You know, they're
no.
at least a little above average to just hot people.
Yeah.
At the least, you know, like I don't think there's any slumps. Most people are not out of shape. They take care of themselves in one way or another, you know, at least on the girls' end. I feel like on the
Yeah.
girls' end, like they're pretty much all knockouts. I haven't seen anyone that's like,
Hmm.
okay, she's got to work on herself. It's like, no, they're all hot. So it's just like
You're
the whole
right.
point is that anybody get behind the screen. You know what I mean? Like, where's my average Joe? Where's my regular girl next door person? Or better yet, where's my person in a wheelchair? You know, where's my person with a disability? Or really want to kick this up a notch? Voice changer, have a dude talking to a dude. You know, and all of a sudden he finds out, oh shit, I just fell in love with a guy. I just like if love is blind, I want to be blind 100%. Yeah, you know, that's what this show should have been, in my opinion.
Really, I think that opens avenues for other Love is Blind shows. Like they're probably gonna have Love is
Right?
Blind only men, Love is Blind for women, Love is Blind for only like this is like an empire they can grow on this. This one they're like, okay, let's start with the dudes and the girls. But you're
Yeah,
right about how the girls are pretty much statistically all attractive in one way or another.
yeah.
Personally, I can't say the same for the dudes, but maybe that's just
That's why I had to say
taste.
that. That's why I had to say
But
like generally the girls are all hot.
yeah,
Some of the guys, okay, can be a hit or miss. Like I think there's a guy this
yeah.
season that we both agree where it's just like, I don't know about that guy.
Yeah, there's a couple for me, but yeah, I'm like, yeah, really? Okay. But yes, I know what you're saying about truly blind love, the voice
Yeah.
and everything.
And I also always feel it's like when they talk to each other in the cubes,
Mm,
the conversations, like
mm,
they're not getting to the place that they have to be when it comes to marriage. Like I feel like they always find out the really juicy stuff when they start living together. Like I think it was either last
right.
season or the season before where they're like the person finds like, "Oh, you have like a lot of debt?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I got lots of debt. Like I'm kind of screwed." And it's like you don't want to find that out before I mean, after you propose. I want to know that before we leave these cubes. You know, it's like I want to know where you stand financially, politically, you know, religiously, all these things. These are important. These shape who you are as a person. Do you want kids? Do you not want kids? You know, like, all that kind of stuff. That's important.
Hmm.
They find out like 10 weeks later, it's like, it's too late now. You got
Yeah, after they propose, but the thing is too is like they're dating, right? And it's a show and it's like a game, so they're trying to win. And everyone's on their best
Yeah,
behavior
yeah.
in the dating part. You know what I mean? Not, no one's gonna be like, by the way, I'm broke to a girl. Like a guy's not gonna say that to a girl. Especially when a show like Love is Blind, where I know it is supposed to be based on who you are, not what you look like, but still you're going on a show because you want to present yourself to the world. Like you still are into appearances if you're going on a TV show, kind of. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
So they are on their best behavior dating and they're trying to win. They are, even though they look at like, I want my husband, I want my wife, they are looking at it like that. This is my prize. So they want to win. You know, they're
Yeah.
gonna hold it down and dirty. You know, they're gonna keep that close to their heart until they're like, okay, I'm safe now. You proposed to me, haha. So now I can tell you all my dirt.
Just like real relationships.
Just like, yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that always got to me. It's like if you're in this game and you want to do things differently, then do it different. Be
Mhm.
upfront about everything right from the get-go. Don't hide anything. And if you want them to take
Yes.
you as you are, then this is it.
Yes, my questions would be like, so do you pick your nose? Are you comfortable farting in front of me? Like, cool. Like, I just can't. What do you think are questions that people should ask for sure?
For
For.
sure. I think for me, like, I'm not religious. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
political. Like I said, financial organization means something,
Mm-hmm.
of where you are in life, what your life goals are. Like, it's that thing from school, right? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? It feels like such a stupid question, but when you're in your late 20s, 30s, and so on, it's a very important question. Like that, you start to realize, like, oh shit, I should know what I want in 5 years. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Granted, even at this age, like I'm 40, it feels like a question at times.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. What do I want to do when I grow up? I
Yeah,
don't know.
but we each have families, so it's just like
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
ideas. Like we're pretty, certain of what we expect. So like I feel like
Mm-hmm.
those are important things to still ask. If you're
Mm-hmm.
someone who's hardcore Democrat or whatever, and you are a Muslim for argument's sake, you're probably going to
Yeah.
want your partner to be the same religion as you, because you're going to be going to the mosque every week or whatever, and they want that person with them. They're going to want them practicing the same things they practice. So I feel like those are important questions to put out there,
Yes.
because I wouldn't be compatible with someone who's wants to go to church every week. I'm like, all right, well then have fun.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. It's either you're compatible and you want to do the same things, or how accepting are you
That too.
of your person having and I'm shocked that they actually brought up some political stuff in this one.
Yeah,
And I was also shocked that she was more conservative because you just don't hear that a lot of the time. They don't really advertise when people are more on the conservative side. So I was like, oh, good for them for like her saying that and for them keeping that in the show because it's like Hollywood.
yeah,
So
yeah.
usually they're like, no one's conservative, everyone be Democrat.
That's what made me
So
think about it,
I
is
thought,
because I never saw that in the other season.
I know, I know. See, I like that. So I agree with you that I think like not all morals are based on your religion or your whatever your political views are, but it's nice to know that going in because some people really live their lives based on like their religion and their
Yeah,
political beliefs. Or there's some people who are like, well, I believe in this, you believe in that. Cool. I have my thing, you have your thing, and I accept you and I love you no matter what. So that is very important to talk about. Very. I agree.
yeah. Here's my last like question before we start
Mm.
getting into like the good stuff.
Okay.
You know how a lot of like these type of shows, like reality shows or game shows,
Hmm.
will have like a season that brings back old contestants? So
Hmm.
I was like, man, should they have a season where they bring back people who didn't get to match with anybody? Would that be fair for people to have a redo?
Yes, but without names, I think, or code
Mm,
names, or like just a first initial, because even though they only should focus on so many couples, and there's lots of people who are on like contestants on the show who don't get like any focus, they still show their names here and there. So it
yeah,
would be cool if they had the people who didn't have any focus and they were just like in the background, all come on and just maybe like a first and last initial or something like that. Just because if there's people who have watched the show, they might remember, oh, I think it's this guy from this season. Like this one has a Vincent guy, it's probably him. So I think that would be cool because I'm like, oh, these people took the chance and they didn't find their love. And
yeah,
let's make it try again. Yeah. With the leftovers, the remains.
yeah. Like I
True.
feel so bad for the ones who are part of like a triangle and they don't get
Yeah.
picked, so it's just like, well, now they've missed their chance.
Yeah. And there is, couple in this season,
There was
right?
a few this season.
There's a few this season. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Which on that, let's just get into it. Let's get into this
Yeah. Let's do
season.
it.
All right. I feel like since episode one, we had to address the elephant in the room, which is Matthew, right?
Okay. So one of the questions that I asked you was, oh, well, who's your favorite and least favorite male? Who's your least favorite and favorite female, like not character, but person? And please, character. Well, you never know. Please tell me that Matthew would be up there with your least favorite, or at least one of
Oh,
them.
freaking hell yeah. Oh my God. After watching the first episode, wife comes home, and I was just like, all right, I gotta tell you about this guy. All right. This guy's weird as hell. His whole like 15 questions thing, but they could only pick one. And then if he didn't like the answer, he'd just like leave the room.
Left.
Yeah.
Left.
No
Didn't even say
words.
anything to the girls. Nope.
Yeah. I was like, what a rude piece of shit. What the hell? I was like, well, you're not gonna match with anybody. You have no hope. You so I thought.
Well, right. And when it showed him like in the room and he was just like reading, not talking to anybody, and he's all like no neck and like I was like, this dude is a serial. Like, are you like I don't want to say that word, but like are you he was like Patrick, I would say Patrick Bateman. That's what he
Yeah.
just like reminded me. I was like, there's something up with this person. And also when he first uttered the words, I'm not here to become a C-list celebrity, I'm like, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You don't just say that. I'm like, yes, you are. And then that came to be kind of proof later that he
Oh yeah.
was.
With his whole speech of his like the Americans or American
Un-
public, like they root for an underdog. It's like
oh my
the
gosh.
hell, or it's like I don't want to
Dude.
disappoint them or something. I was like, who
Oh
cares
my
about the American public? What the hell? Who addresses them that way?
yeah. Yeah. He creeped me out so hard. And when they had that reveal, no shame, but I rewatched the first episode this morning just to get like pumped
Get
up.
pumped up again.
Yeah, and
I
I
watched
did. And
clips.
it's yes, and at the end of that episode is when that shocker comes out about Matthew because you had to me I was like, okay, this guy like AD says is like a pistachio, is a hard shell and he's good when you get inside and I'm like, yeah, he seems like he's warming up. Maybe he's just insecure, you know. And he's saying all these nice things to her, all these nice things that girls want to hear that sometimes guys say. And
Yeah,
then and then when she gets back to the room and then she had that reveal, the other chick saying that he said the exact same words verbatim to her, I was like, oh, like my jaw
yeah.
dropped. I was like, no, are you serious? Matthew, you crazy person.
So I have a double screen set up here at my office, right? And I'm working on some pieces for my store, and as all of a sudden I hear them, I was like, "What?" It's like pen down. It's like you got to be kidding me, bro. You got. It's like you had me hating you to all of a sudden rooting for you. Like, all right, you have hope.
Yeah.
Like you're just a super hard introvert, and you're just like,
Hmm.
okay, I get it. Now I get it. All right, you've been on a farm. You're not used to people. Okay. Oh, all right. Then that happened, which is like, yeah, he said he wanted to meet my dad so he could ask for my hand in marriage. I was like, you just said that this girl? What? No, no.
Yeah, I'll leave with you right now if you want. You just said that to this girl. Oh, draw
Uh,
me a map and I'll come find you. You just said that to this girl. Like the exact this is why we have no trust.
yeah.
He was like playing that game. He was like
Yeah.
warming, he was like buttering them up. And I don't even know, like, who even knows? He said that Amber chick. And then as soon as he proposed, or he was going to propose, and AD said no, he was like, oh, I'm going to go find Amber and left. Like, he
Well,
didn't care.
they don't show us his conversations with Amber at all, which good job on the editing staff. Editing staff crushed it.
Crushed it. Crushed it.
I want to know what those conversations look like now because
Me
when
too.
she left and then he's telling AD about like he's crying or like you see he's already like just hurt that she's gone. And it's just like, all right, then that means you really cared about her more than you cared about AD. Maybe.
He
But
has
it's like
capabilities of caring at all
if
because it doesn't
yeah,
seem like that. Like he's a robot. He's like a cyborg plant in this show to see.
seriously.
Yeah, an act. Oh God, Oh God,
It made me
poor
wonder
Morty.
if he didn't get caught, would he had proposed to both of them?
It seemed like
Right?
that's what he wanted, like just like
Right?
a backup, and he's
Yeah.
gonna treat both women the same, like he was testing them both.
Uh-huh.
But it's like girls talk. Girls talk. All right. Girls talk.
Yeah. I think that's what every season, every guy forgets that the girls tell each other shit. Like it goes
Yeah.
without failing. Like you won't really see the guys tell each other too much. They'll figure stuff out,
Right.
but they're not going to
Hmm.
tell each other like, "Oh, this is our exact conversation." It's like, no, the girls are going to say every word to each other. They become sisters day one.
Yeah. Or enemies. We're either
Or
your
yeah,
sister
yeah,
and we love you, or we're like enemies and we're like lionesses and we're like in competition, or we're like, you're part of my that's how girls work. Okay. That's
yeah.
why I wasn't friends with them.
That's why I feel like it's a good thing you bring that up because I feel like they will use information one of
Yeah.
two ways. One way
Oh yeah.
is like one of the girls told us like, "Hey, she just found out that this guy loves her, so he's not gonna pick you." And it's just like, all right, that's the friend information. But then there's the other one where it's just like, I'm gonna tell you some stuff because I want to get in your head.
Yeah. But there's like, is it sometimes it's like, is it strictly friend information or is it friend information like, oh my God, I care so much about you, but actually it's just like get drama, just like how
Yeah,
Lydia
yeah,
did, like the last season. She's like, oh, listen, you're too good for him. You're too blah, blah, blah. I know. I see you in me. I see me in you. And it's like this whole time she already knew this is how women are. They said the
yeah.
claws are out all the time. This is
Rawr.
it's true. Okay, so we've
Oh,
established that Matt is no good. And
no.
that shocked the hell out of
Yeah.
me when that came
Horrible.
out. Horrible. I was like, seriously, not good.
From that, we go
Mm,
into like AD, her Amber Desiree, who is with Matt at first, but then she is also
yes.
with Clay. What are your thoughts on that whole thing there?
Mm.
Just from like I gotta think from the initial cubes relationships, I guess.
The initial Cubes relationship, I thought that Clay was better suited for her from the get-go. He
Yeah.
seemed more so like what she explained her type was, and I was like, oh, I could see these two. They had good energy playing off each other. I didn't like how angry he got when she said that she had another connection. I mean, like that's the point of the show. Like, I mean, that's kind of like what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah.
He got pretty like defensive. He did apologize for it, but still, I was like, whoa, dude, like take a step back. Like you don't really like you're dating other girls too. You don't really have like a right
Yeah.
to really make claim right now. But I in the pods like them together, and I'm glad that they chose each other. Yes, I'll say that.
Like how your eyes are wandering looking for the words.
What about you?
uh I was mixed because
Mm,
obviously Matthew, crazy man. And then I felt that Clay, he was coming
mm.
across to me as the typical ladies man,
Oh yeah,
like every
yeah,
the way he was saying things, everything he was saying, it's just like, man, you a player. I know a player when I
yeah,
see one. All right.
yeah. But she said she likes players, so
Yeah, but
I
you don't
mean,
marry the player. That's not who you marry.
no,
You mess
play is
around with
gonna
the player.
play.
That's the bad boy. You mess around with the bad boy, you marry you the good guy. You know?
Mm,
And so I was just
mm.
like, what's going on here? Come on, girl. You're picking the wrong two guys. What's happening here?
Maybe she's the type of girl who looks for a fixer upper, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe she sees like, oh, he's kind of a challenge. He see, this is the thing. I think a lot of women and men in ways look for someone who's like a challenge and a chase when it's like when you're ready for like marriage, you should just be looking for your comfy zone, like just your comfort zone,
Yeah.
not like someone you're gonna have to be like pacing and fighting for and wondering like, oh, is he going to cheat on me? Is he a ladies man? Oh, is he telling me the truth? Is there another girl he's talking like come on, no, that's exhausting. Like get over it. Like, if you
Yeah.
want that, please don't go on a show that leads to marriage. Oh my god. Him saying that he has a specific type of look for a girl.
Red
Um
flag.
okay, I mean I think that there's people who have specific types and specific tastes and I think that's fine,
Yeah.
but don't go on a show that's about nothing to do with appearance and then expect to have this like hot model. I mean, she does have a bang body. He's
Smoking.
lucky.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The bookcase,
Damn!
as they like to say, she got
Yeah.
that bookcase,
Uh
but don't go on a show that requires you to release all that. Same with there's another couple that we were probably going to talk to where I think that if you have a preconceived idea of a ideal partner and looks or race or weight or anything, don't go on this show because
Yeah.
you can get someone attached to you and then you're like, wait, this won't work. I'm actually not attracted to this. I mean, maybe they didn't realize that they wouldn't be attracted to it, but I mean, everyone kind of knows what they want, what they don't want.
I mean, which is,
Men.
I think, the flaw of the show, or the flaw of the people who go on the show, because there's a
Uh-huh.
reality here. The physical is important.
Mhm.
Let's not
Mhm.
pretend like looks aren't important, physicality isn't important. You know,
Mhm.
if things don't match up in the bedroom, guess what? You probably aren't going to be staying together for too long. It's just a
Absolutely.
reality of things.
Uh-huh. You need that some chemistry, right? And some of
Yeah,
that chemistry comes from the physicality, and that's just science.
right.
Right?
No, seriously, like you talk like pheromones. It's like pheromones are real. Like how
Yes.
like the way we smell, the way we do certain things, that comes
Mhm.
across to the other person. A wall isn't giving you some of that.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden they finally get together. They're in the Bahamas, they're in the Dominican Republic, and they're realizing like it's like, oh damn, I don't want that inside of me, or I don't want me inside of that. You know?
Yeah, there's like a wall there, like, ugh, there's an ick factor, don't touch me. Like, even if the person's attractive, there could just be something, like you say, pheromones or some sort of like
Yeah.
chemistry that's just like, ugh, no, like that's just not.
I think it was last season. Remember last season you had like the Indian couple?
2 seasons ago,
Two
I
seasons
think, yeah.
ago? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But like
Yes.
she was a knockout. And he admitted it's
Yeah.
like you're beautiful. It's like, but he thought he was kissing his sister. That's how it felt to him. And it's just like, all right, that happens. Granted, he also turned out to be kind of douchey by the end.
Yeah.
But
I was say he was a huge
I'm not gonna
douche.
coast over that one.
Yeah.
But
But I
some of
see
the
what you're saying.
sentiments he
Absolutely.
had, I get it. It's like, yeah, you're not gonna find that out until you meet each other. Who's
For
our
sh-
next problem child?
I will say that a tie for my least favorite guy is Jimmy for different reasons.
I'm with you 100%. Yeah, yeah. Now that Matt's gone, we need a new villain, kind of much, pretty
Yes.
much for the dudes.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely the you hit it on the head. There's a question mark of like, why this guy? Why
Oh
is
my
he the guy
gosh.
that every girl wants?
Okay, I was trying to decipher this, especially watching the first episode again. I'm like, is there something I'm missing? I know that we can see him, and he's not physically my type at all. It's blonde. I can't. That's not. I'm like this. Looks like a generic dude,
Yeah.
Peyton Manning wannabe, like kind of lookalike guy.
Ah,
So
perfect. That's perfect.
so so and then but also no offense to this Jimmy guy, just like personal preference maybe, but I just don't get it. So this whole time I'm like, I don't know what these girls are seeing in Jimmy at all. I don't
Yeah.
know if Chelsea was seeing some sort of like a safety because he does, even though he stumbles on his words and says the wrong stuff sometimes, he just says what girls want to hear, I also think, or what he thinks he should say. And then there's Jess, who I guess she's with Jess too. But she seems maybe I don't know, I don't say surface level, but maybe she's just more like a normal, didn't need too much depth for a guy. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know these people in person, but I'm just
Yeah.
trying to go off like what I've been shown on TV.
I had the same things. I think he would ask decent questions at times. If I had to give him some kind of plus to understand
Hmm.
why he would be chosen, I think that was part of it. But otherwise, like you said, like personality, he felt kind of flat to me. Like he wasn't
Yes.
like Jeremy. I think Jeremy had more personality. Like he
Yeah.
felt more outgoing and stuff like that. Like he seems like someone you want to hang out with and have a good time with. I
Yeah.
never got that from Jimmy. Jimmy's just like he's there.
Mm,
And
he's there.
it's like okay. Okay.
Yeah, he's just like a NPC type guy. He's just
Yeah.
like there chilling. Like I didn't see these girls and Jess being like, it was just so electric. And I'm like, how is there
Where?
electricity between like what like there's nothing radiating from this dude. There is no electrical current coming from this man. What are you attracted to?
Uh
Oh
it makes you
God.
wonder, what
Just
did they
him.
edit out? Did they was there something he said that we didn't get to see? The evolution of Jimmy.
Oh my God. The was it de-evolution
Or the
of
de-evolution.
Jimmy?
Yeah, it's better. The de-evolution. Yeah,
Really?
because
It's
it's more of the evolution of Chelsea, to be honest.
Yes, it's yeah, poor Chelsea. I feel bad for her. But so yes,
Oh,
okay, let's go.
okay.
Let's go.
That's gonna be an interesting conversation later then. If you said poor Chelsea,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah, I feel I feel for Chelsea. But okay, so Jimmy was debating between Jess
Chelsea
and
and Jess.
Chelsea.
Yeah,
Hmm. Chelsea seemed more. It's funny because Jess is the one who's a mom. but I think
Yeah.
she's just way more guarded because she's been through so much. So she's good at like having conversation and she's good at like telling how it is and everything. But Chelsea is more sensitive, so I think she comes across more warm, and I think Jimmy needs someone who's warm and catering to him and more like a mommy type it thing. It almost seems like he wants like that type of like, oh, you're my little baby, like that type of thing. Oh, but not clingy. But you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he just wants more of that than a girl telling him how it is and like,
Yeah.
be a man type thing. So,
You don't think it was just it wasn't the kid though? I think the kid pushed him away. Because once
well,
she
I
mentioned the
I
kid, I saw
mhm,
a change in his eyes that didn't go
mhm.
away afterwards.
Well, I don't think he's ready at all to be a dad, nor
No.
do I think he's ready at all to be a husband. It's nothing to do with Jess. It's not Jess's fault. But when he did say to Jess he's not, and she was like, "You're gonna need an EpiPen to start breathing again." I was like, "Okay." And then she was on did an interview. She's like, "That's not what I meant. I meant like my whole being." And I'm thinking, "That's not what you meant, girl. You know that's not what you meant. You don't get all that done to yourself to not be like, look at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't get that done. And I appreciate her going on a show to for it not to be about looks, but then you're also on a TV show, so it is about looks. But
Yeah.
I kind of I liked Jess until that interaction. Because I found it very immature to be like, I can't believe you didn't pick me. You're picking her, and you're gonna regret it because of what I look like. Like I just found that like that's not the point of the show. Like you don't say that. And then she comes back saying that's not what I meant. And it's like, yeah, you did. You meant it.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, for me, I think my thing with her, it starts to go down with what happens or what could happen later, I should say.
yes, yes. And there's things that she has said later that I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay, okay, okay,
Yeah, because
okay.
I was kind of mixed on that little triangle there because
Hmm.
I actually liked her more than I liked Chelsea for that couple. Like I liked her better for Jimmy. Uh
Yes,
just because like I liked like she's a mom. So there's certain things she's
yes,
gone through, and I felt like I liked her straightforward personality of like I'm not here to
yes,
beat around the bush. I'm here to get things done and get to it because I got a kid who's waiting for me back at home. You know?
yeah.
So it's like
I
if
ain't
you're
got
not down
time.
for
Yeah,
this, then keep it pushing. So like I liked that about her. Like I'm very straightforward myself. So I think that's what made me gravitate towards that. I felt like Chelsea belonged to somebody else.
I know who I think she belongs to all
Yeah,
along.
because she had her own triangle going on. So like for me, it's
Yes,
just like Chelsea, stop wasting your time with Jimmy. All right, go with the other guy
yes.
who's ready for you. All right, this isn't the guy who's ready for you. He's not the one. Because I like Chelsea too.
No.
I really liked her, but just not for him.
And it's weird that I'm like I was saying that Jimmy needs someone who's like a mom, but I don't mean a mom as in
Not a
telling
real mom.
him
No.
no, not a real mom. Not a real mom telling him how it is and stuff. 'Cause I don't think he can handle. I don't think he wants that. I think he wants just like the nurture care without consequence,
Yeah,
which I think he thought Chelsea would do.
and he also
Um,
can't
but,
like if a fight happens, he's not gonna win a fight against the mom. Like you're
oh,
losing every time. You
oh yeah, you're not going to win. Yeah. So Jess, I just hope that she give up on Jimmy and just go find something else. You need something different. There's a
yeah.
different type of man out there. Jimmy is not it. I don't feel like Jimmy's very
Yeah. Love is blind
manly.
is not the place you're gonna find it.
No. Do you want to address the other triangle, the
So now
Chelsea
let's
Amber
hop over
one?
to Chelsea and Trevor. Ah, Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor was up there for one of the dudes that I was rooting for, just because of how much
Me
of
too.
he gave himself to the game, like to
I
just
know.
shut everyone else off and like, no, this is the girl, this is the one. It's like, oh, I feel that, man. Like once you think you have the one, no other girl exists. No one else in the world is alive to you. There's just that one person, and that's it. And I was like, get her, man, get her.
That's
And
so
like at
cute.
the when it came to the moment where she's still deciding who to go with,
Hmm.
and my hope was like, you're gonna pick Trevor, right? You gotta pick Trevor, right?
Please.
But then I knew reality. It's like she's not gonna pick
Yeah.
Trevor. She's not, even though she knows that emotionally he hits all the right notes, and she kind of knew physically some aspects about him because they kind of talked about it, like the mullet
Yes.
guess, though.
Oh my God.
It's like you said you love mullets. He has a mullet. Granted, side note, can we address mullets real quick? All right. I get really annoyed when people identify a mullet when it's not a mullet. If all of your hair is the exact same length, it's not a mullet. Let's just get that straight, all right? If you have something short like this and really long hair in the back, that's a mullet, all right?
Hmm.
Refer to Billy Ray Cyrus circa like 1994 or whatever. That was a mullet. Okay. He had super short hair in the front and really rocking long hair. Okay.
Hmm.
That's it. What Trevor has is not a mullet. He just has same length hair. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It really
Same
annoyed
like
me when that popped up.
it was like same length hair, but then shorter a little on the sides, but everything was like longer. You know what it looked like? It looked like a Jerry Seinfeld haircut if Jerry Seinfeld had this like cut on the side.
Yes.
Because it's like
Yes.
same length all the way. But Trevor,
But besides that, I felt for
Trevor,
Trevor.
yes. He just seemed so he's like, oh yeah, like everyone thinks I'm a meathead. And he had like that tone of voice to him, but he was charismatic and he was kind and warm and caring. And like you say, he chose her and that was it for him. And to me, that's just like emotional intelligence through the roof. Like I was
Yeah.
just like, he has more emotional intelligence, even though he sounds like maybe he doesn't, but he does. Like his voice is like a facade. And he just seemed so sure. I'm not really into like that big muscle, blah, blah. Like, when I first saw him, I was like, I judged him too. Like, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this type of guy.
Yeah.
But then I was like, give Trevor a chance.
He
Like,
was a big teddy
please,
bear. He was
God.
just a big teddy
I
bear.
know.
That's all.
I know. I wish that they ended up. Well, I don't know what's going to happen coming in episodes, but I wish she
Yeah.
would have picked him. Yeah,
Yeah, because at this
he
point
deserves it.
we only have 2 episodes left where we're at right now,
Hmm.
which are the finale episodes. And that's
Hmm.
usually when things really go down. People are starting to meet each
Yes.
other. They're seeing the
Oh,
people that didn't get picked, and
yes.
things can go awry from there.
Oh, they're gonna. And some people have already met some people that they didn't pick.
uh
Should we talk about that love triangle of Jeremy and Sarah
uh
and Laura?
ooh, man. Okay. Where I didn't know who to go for, honestly, with that
Me
triangle.
neither.
It was kind of back and forth. In the pods, I was super impressed with how Sarah Ann, right? Some of
Hmm.
that. The way she responded to her being rejected, I thought was super mature.
Very.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. Like you never see like you get Jess. Jess is the reaction you get every time.
Yes.
That's what I was
Yeah.
expecting, but she was just
Hmm.
like, all right, yeah, like it's okay. We're cool. And he's just like, I can't even say what it is, but I feel deeply for both of you. I love you. I love her. I can't say what it is. Which for me, I thought was a cop out. It's like, there's something. The other girl's
Yeah.
doing something that's connecting
Hmm.
with you. Give her that. Give her the thing so she knows. And the fact that he couldn't give her that kind of bugged me a bit.
What do you think it was? Why do you think he chose Laura?
I honestly don't know. I felt more of a connection with him and the other girl.
I think that Sarah was calmer and felt safer, and Laura seemed more challenging. It's the whole
Okay.
challenge thing. It's like the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
chase type thing. But then you kind of get out of the real world and you're like, God damn, I don't want this. I don't want a challenge. Where's my
yeah.
safe blankie person? Like what? Like
Yeah.
no. See, that's what seems like happens sometimes. And I liked Sarah. I thought she was cool. I thought she was open. I thought she was yeah, I really liked her because Laura's really opinionated and so far, I like her and I like the way she handled something that came up recently.
Yeah, the
Um,
situation she handled, I thought she was very tactile about it.
yeah, I can see him. Well, I can see why he would have picked both for him. Honestly, love triangle is a tough one, but I can also see him wanting to meet the girl who he rejected because first of all, she seemed so cool and she seemed like she
Yeah.
took it fine. Like maybe we can be friends and I want to know what she looks like. I want to see her. I want to like see if there's something there. So I can see why he would want to go meet up with her after. I just the way he went about it was wrong.
And that's the thing. So we get to a point where she sends him a DM, and the DM starts off as cool as she was in the pods. I hope
Yeah.
the best for you. I hope you guys are working out. Everything is
Hmm.
cool. Like, and I hope we can be friends. But if things don't work out and you get second thoughts, hit me up. It's like, what? That right there is
Yeah.
just like, oh, you just went from being really cool to not so cool right now. Like you send that
Yeah.
message when you find out that they did break up. All right. That's when you send that message.
Hmm.
But you don't send it in between while he's still trying to figure things out. You know how the show works. You know what you're doing right now. And at that point,
Hmm.
it's like, oh, that's it. It's about to go downhill. This is not going to go well. In one hand, I think there's some respect and like some honor on his end to like to share that information with Laura. But at the same time, I kind of felt like you don't show that. Like there's just like some man rules and relationship rules. You got that message, you don't show that to the person you care about. You delete that message. You don't heart it, you don't like it, you just delete it. That message never
Mm,
existed for you or for her, all right? But if you double heart that thing and then show it to her, you want to fight. Like you want to break up. What do you think is going to happen? She's going to be like, well, at least you showed it to me. Thank you. Kudos for you. All the brownie points. No. All right.
no. Because we're good, because we're girls, and we're gonna find something in what you did or in what she did that is gonna be wrong. It's also like you guys know that they're gonna bring the other people on the show again, right? I don't know why they reach out to each other, and then as soon as they get Instagram, like, oh my god, it's like you're going to have. There's gonna be an episode. Have you seen the show? There's gonna be an episode where they throw you all in a den, like you're gonna fight to the death. It's gonna be like Sparta or some crap. Like they're gonna put you all
uh,
together, and then we're all just gonna watch and see what happens. Like it's gonna be like a fight to the death type thing. So the reaching out to each other, I have to see her. It's like you're gonna see her. Just chill and wait. Like
yeah.
just you're gonna just relax.
As we go further along, they do meet each other in secret, right? He
Yep.
he stays out till
Yep.
like 5 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
hanging out with
That's a
his
big no-no.
boys, and then he has the nerve to give Laura like his location so she can
Mhm.
have the ability to stalk wherever the hell he is. And it's like she can tell you're not with your boys, so now you have to confess what you were doing. And it's like, oh yeah, I was with this girl, and we talked till 5 o'clock in the morning. It's like bullshit. Right? It's like I'll tell you right now, there's only a handful of women that I have spoken to till 5 o'clock in the morning, and they were all relationship based. Right, the last person I talked to at 5 o'clock in the morning, I married that woman. Okay. You do not talk to a lady till 5 o'clock in the morning in a car in the parking lot. No, 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 my friend. All
Yeah.
right. Unless you're talking with your
No.
body. Okay.
Right. But apparently they weren't in the parking lot though, were they, George?
Oh,
They
they were in
were
an
in her
alleyway.
area.
Yeah.
Or no, no, that's what he says. But apparently she's like, I have your location and you weren't there. You
Yeah.
were at wherever her house was. We're gonna find out.
I think he definitely cheated on her for sure. Even for argument's sake, let's say he's telling the truth and
Yeah.
they did just talk. All right. Even talking to another lady till 5 o'clock in the morning, you have cheated. All right. I'm hardcore with that. All right. It's like because you're emotionally devoting yourself to someone else for a elongated period of time that you should have been in bed with your freaking fiance. All right. Why the hell are you in someone else's freaking comfort at that time of the day?
Then it looks like they're still together in the coming episodes. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how.
Last episode, they're doing the I do's, and then this girl just busts right in. No.
Oh, okay, so that
All
leaves
right.
us one more couple. Kenneth and Brittany.
So Brittany and Kenneth was the one I was rooting for. I had them as number one, and number two couple that I was rooting for was Johnny and Amy. So I love that Brittany and Kenneth had like their religious aspects to them. Even
Me
though I'm
too.
not like super religious, I believe,
Hmm.
you know. And when people are willing to like put things on hold because they really want to, focus on the emotional, that meant a lot to me. It's like so they weren't gonna have sexual relations until they got married. I was like, that's special. The
Yes.
fact that both of them felt that way. Because we've had
Hmm.
seasons where like the girl feels that way, but the guy's just like, damn, I just want to smash.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
That's like,
That's
yeah,
true.
typical. But I get it. I do get it because like there's something there. Like
Hmm.
we said, the physical does
Hmm.
matter. It sucks to get
Yes.
married and you're like, damn, that's not gonna work out.
Yes.
And
I mean, you got to take
so
the car for a test drive. You got to take the car for a test drive. I mean,
right.
just drive it off the lot and be like, I'm stuck with this now.
So in the cubes, I thought they were cute. I liked them and everything. But then once they got out of the cubes, oh man, my boy Kenneth
Yeah.
failed me at every turn.
Me
Oh,
too. Me too. Okay, to me, where did it start for you? Because to me, it was AD planting that seed in his mind
yes,
about the
yes.
race of the children.
Yep.
I was like, why are you saying this, girl? Like, why are you saying you don't think he's thought of that? Maybe he didn't think about that.
They
And
did
this
talk
is
about that.
the
That's the thing. They talked about it.
right. So why is he letting her get to his head? Okay, also, let me just say that AD at that party, she left a bad taste in my mouth at that party. The first party,
Yeah.
I was like, "What are
Yeah.
you doing?" Like, I didn't. Anyway, that's another topic. But this is what I'm saying when you need to talk about family a lot. And if you have a preconceived idea of a appearance or a race that you just don't think is going to work forever, don't go on the show. If you're not like open to having like an interracial couple with like children with that person, you can't go on the show, man. And like she was used to dating black guys. Like she was like, fine, I'm fine with this,
Yeah,
whatever. And then he's the one who had the problem with it because AD had to plant that seed in his head. It's like the white lady doesn't think it's an issue
yeah.
at all. But then
Because
he, for some reason,
that's the
really
reality I
flipped
think
the
that we live
switch.
in now. Because I'm in a mixed relationship myself. You know, my wife
Mhm.
is Vietnamese Cambodian. I'm Puerto Rican. You know, so we have that, but like it's never affected us where we come from. Every like we have a very diverse city where we're from and everything, and so like everyone's expected to end up with somebody else. You know, it's very much anticipated. Uh,
Mm,
so when I see stuff like this, I'm just like, is this still a thing in places? Like people
I
still care
know.
about this? You know? What
I
am I
was
living in?
wondering.
You know, and I always
Yeah.
find in this show, it's usually the black side of things where they're just like, they're not gonna get it. The white person's not gonna get it. They're not gonna understand where we're coming from. They're not gonna be able to defend certain situations or that. And it's just like, come on. What matters here is this person's choosing you because of who you are. They're obviously seeing
Yeah.
past whatever you can't see past. Who
Yeah.
cares about public
Or they wait.
perception? The
Yeah.
public. You know?
Yeah.
And we're not in a point in time where like you're gonna get crucified for being with the wrong person, you know.
No.
But then I did see that they live in South Carolina, and I was like, oh damn, that is the South. There is some sketchiness down there still.
Yeah, but like the thing is like Brittany didn't just look past his race. She like fully embraced it. And she's like, yes, like
Yeah,
this is I want this. She her and Amy we'll get to are my favorite women on the show. Brittany is only 24 apparently, and she is so mature for her age. She is so down to earth. She just seems like a quality human being. She knows what she it wants and she's confident in what she wants. I love Brittany. There's nothing about her where I was like, "Oh, that's too bad." She was just like a perfect woman. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?
I just
You're
felt
gonna
bad for
fumble
her.
this chick?"
Yeah,
Me
I just felt
too.
bad. Like when they're on the boat and they're in Dominican Republic, and like he's just there looking into nothingness. This is where like, you know, as a dude, it's like you have a smoke show on to the left of you right now. Why are you looking at water? Why?
The sky, like,
I try to be forgiving. It's like maybe it's because like you know they're waiting. He does. You know, they're not gonna do things with each other, and you don't want to have that
no.
temptation. So it's like I kind of get that. There are times where like I won't look at my wife because of like so she just is getting ready for a shower or something. It's like I'm gonna get excited if I look that direct direction, and I know she just wants to be left alone. I'm gonna look at the TV right now. I'm gonna, yeah. But it's just like you're on like a honeymoon thing right now. This is the first like few days of you getting to see each other. My eyes are
Mm,
not coming off of you during this whole vacation. When I went on my
mm.
honeymoon with my wife, nothing else existed. All I saw was her. You know? So it's just like, what's happening right now? What are you doing? And then all of a sudden he sees dolphins. It's like, dolphins? Dolphins that are like 5 miles from you? That caught your attention? As opposed to this?
Yeah. And she was like
Everything was out. Yeah.
she's like a, yeah, I know. And she's like, yeah, well, maybe we got to keep dolphins on the retainer, just like throw out to bring up
Right?
conversation. It was so sad because their connection in the pod seemed so
So
true and
pure. It was so
pure,
pure.
so
Yeah.
pure. And it just was so, I was like, these two can make it, you know? And then once they got out, and it's like, once he saw her, and then for one, it's got to be the race thing. It had to be because I don't
Yeah.
know what else it could possibly be because she was insanely gorgeous. But when they got back to their house and him on his phone
That
all
goddamn
the
phone.
time, when she was trying to have like deep, meaningful conversations with him and he's on his phone, I'm like, this is I wouldn't have even given him any grace. I'd have been like, are you kidding me right now? I'm trying to talk to you about like my deep fears and emotions and you're like on your phone even listening. Like if I'm watching a movie with my husband and he goes on his phone, I'll pause it and I'm like, this movie right now, this like
uh,
paranormal activity movie right now is important to me. So you better watch. You know what I mean? Like I just but her pouring her heart out to him and being like, I don't feel like what's that crave? I don't think she was saying I don't crave you. She would didn't feel craved by him, and then
yep.
he projected onto her. Well, if you don't feel that crave, that's your problem.
Yeah.
She's just kind of like, and then she's crying. And I'm like, no, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
He's not showing any interest in you. He's more attached to his phone. She saying we haven't made out. I find that weird. Like she's basically saying make out with me, and he's like, oh, you don't crave me, then that's your problem. Okay, well, like, let's just end this. And then he goes back on his phone and goes upstairs and leaves her
Yeah.
crying.
And calls like his boys. was like, were you kidding? I got upset when like he started a conversation with her and he's just like this. He's just like, yeah, so what do you think about this? And he's just there. And it's like, how are you gonna start a conversation with somebody and not even look at them? Like, are you kidding, dude? Even like when they
She
were on the
was
boat
way.
and she talked about like the physical contact, and she's just like,
Mhm.
like you can touch me more. And he's like, oh, I felt like I've been smothering you. And she's like, no, no, you can like bring it on. That right there was like the ultimate cue. Like you couldn't be more direct and be like, touch me, mother, touch me. And then he's just like, all right, and puts his arm around her. And it's like, dude, my man, like I'm about to rip these things off my head.
Let me fix my curls. To I did my curls are curlers falling out.
Like it
Um,
blew my mind. It's like, and granted, I speak as someone who can be very I don't want to say naive per se, but like I was never great at social cues from women when it came to
mhm,
like if a girl liked me and that kind of stuff, just because like my mom raised me as a gentleman, and I don't make a lot of the first moves for a lot of things,
mhm.
like I'll make attempts, but I'm not very forceful with anything, you know
Okay.
because like I don't want to cross a border or a line and offend somebody, because I care
Mm.
so much. At the same time, when someone says you could touch me, it's like, all right, that's a clear sign. Like there's no beating around the bush here. You're not playing coy with me. I get to touch you now. Awesome. you know?
She was so good at communicating. Her
Yeah.
communication
Oh yeah.
skills were through the effing roof. Yeah, she was like, "You can touch me more. Like you're not smothering me. Just like you could just do it." And then for him to say to her, "Oh, I tried to touch you this morning." It's like, dude, you don't come home at 1:30 in the morning and
Yeah.
try to wake up your woman who has to work at 5 with affection and they get mad at her saying, "Well, I tried." It's like you tried in the middle of the night when she was sleeping and she had to wake up. Like
Yeah.
that's just two totally different things. And then you get mad at her for that. It's not her fault. Oh, that I see that there. Kenneth to me was just like went
Yeah.
down
He
the toilet and
crashed.
Brittany just kept going up. Brittany, team Brittany, I love you. She's not gonna see this, but I love you,
Yeah.
Brittany.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
that one hurt me. That took me down. It's like, come on, man. I was rooting for you guys. And like
Yeah.
he seemed like such a stand-up dude, and it's like, oh, okay, once technology gets put into the equation, you're a deadbeat.
Well, it's also like once technology is put in the equation, and if you remove like his faith and how godly he is, and like is that what's keeping him a good person?
Yeah.
Then at that point, you know what I mean? Because if you remove the spirituality aspect, then it's like he almost uses it as a cop out. It's like, oh, I know God has a plan for me and God has a plan for you, and like this isn't the plan. It's like, shut up. You're just not attracted to her and you don't want to say it.
Yeah.
Like, I got mad. I got mad.
Well, we won't be seeing them anymore anyway, I guess, until the
Just at
last
the
episode.
reunion, yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
we can talk about the couple that I feel will be the one who makes it all the way to marriage
Yes.
day, which would
I
be
feel so
Johnny and
bad.
Amy. Yeah.
Please.
Especially for like, so a little side note here. I'm not like Dan and Jose too much. Like I don't really like, profess my deep love or whatever for my nationality or like my culture of being Puerto Rican. I'm more of like a surface level of like people are people. But
Mhm.
whenever there is a Puerto Rican on any show, I do feel the inner need to root for them, you know.
Yeah.
So when she announced that she was Puerto Rican, and then her personality came out, I've secretly been just like, okay, I hope you get it.
I know.
For my PR queen, like, come on, you could do this.
Well, it
So
helped that she's just like an amazing human being and like sweet and kind and smart and funny and cute and perfect. Amy is
yeah,
perfect.
like have they?
Okay.
I was trying to recall, have they even had any kind of tiff as of yet? I feel like they've had like the perfect season so far.
So far, they've had the perfect season. There's only like that one little conflict between them about the birth control and them not being
Yes,
intimate because
yes.
of the birth control, which I mean, I understand, especially if he's like really afraid, but there are non-hormonal things that women can do for birth control that she can do too. If that's what's actually the issue is why they're not being intimate. They
I don't.
haven't
Do
had
condoms not exist? Like, is he allergic to
well,
condoms? Like, I don't recall that
I mean,
conversation.
they do exist, but I know like how it's not 100%. It's like what 92%. And again, if your fear is that strong
Yeah,
of having a baby right now, I can see that being like that's not enough. But Johnny is my favorite guy. Him and Trevor, my favorite guy. I love Johnny. His personality is just so funny and fun loving and just like he listens, he's attentive. The major green flag that I saw that maybe some people don't see this as a green flag, but when they were in their like little honeymoon, not honeymoon, but preemptive honeymoon, when he said, I'm looking forward to our first fight, I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
hell yes. Because there's some people who want to avoid conflict at all costs. And he's like, no, like I want to see how we handle it. I want to see like our dynamic in a fight. And I just think that's so mature because that is the true test to see someone's kind of like their true colors. If they get defensive, if they
Hmm.
get passive aggressive, if they're going to ignore you, if they're going to yell at you, if they're going to be really aggressive, you got to know that in a partner before
Yep.
you choose them. You want to see all their sides and their true colors. So for him saying, I'm looking forward to our first fight, I'm like, yeah, that's right. Like, because you need to know how you're going to work through conflict together. And that's
Yep.
how you build respect for one another and everything. Like, that is, I was like, Johnny, yes, yes, get that fight on. Let's see, make it about birth control. I don't care. Like, just get not like a fight, but like the conflict.
Yeah.
I
Like you
love
got
that
you
about
gotta
him. I
have
love when
that
he said
that
that.
turmoil just for like a hot second to see if you guys can survive it. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And how you survive it and how you go through it and how like at the end you're gonna come out stronger. Like Jimmy keeps saying, oh, it just made us stronger. And I'm like, did it though, Jimmy? Did this fight make you stronger?
Ugh.
I don't know.
I thought for a moment with them, like when they resolved their little thing the next day, I was like, oh, okay, you guys, he admitted he was wrong. All right. But then later on, other shit happens. And I was like, oh, okay,
J-
you're a
Jimmy
failure.
and Chelsea?
Huh?
Jimmy and Chelsea?
Oh no, not Jimmy. No, no. I'm talking about Jeremy. Jeremy and
Oh,
Laura's fight.
Jeremy.
Like when Jeremy had
Oh,
that thing with the beanbag thing or whatever it was,
oh
that
yeah.
little argument. But then the next day he's like, you know what? I was wrong. I messed up. I should have talked to you. And it's like, all right, that's some good maturity there. I respect that.
That
You're
was
gonna mess
really
up
good.
somewhere
And
else, but I respect this one moment.
yeah, in the future you will mess up. But I'm
Yeah.
talking about with Chelsea and Jimmy,
Oh, okay, no,
how
Chelsea and Jimmy's
Jimmy
fight. Oh
Jimmy
my
and Chelsea
God.
always say, this is when I say poor Chelsea.
Okay, yes,
Because
yeah,
Chelsea is so insecure
yes,
and she needs
yes,
a lot of reassurance. And I don't have any I get that. I'm a person who also needs crap ton of reassurance and I hate that about myself because I'm like I should just be like super confident and like I don't care what you think about me. But when you have like if there's like years where like you've been cheated on or lied to, that just grows, okay?
yeah.
So
And she
and
had
I
been
think that's
married
what
before, so
she had been married. So I just think that she needs that reassurance so much. And that's something she needs to work on, but it's easier to work on it if you have someone who understands that's what you need and will give that to you, but also help you try to be more confident in yourself without you having to rely on just hits of reassurance
yeah.
that maybe aren't genuine and like try to build you up. So I see Chelsea being very insecure and really I don't like using this word, but really like whiny and needy about it, which I understand that's how she is, but it's like just gotta dial it back a little bit. But not with Jimmy though. Like with someone else who's gonna make comfort you. And Jimmy just I think spits out things as band-aids just to, like cover things up. Like, I don't know. I think he doesn't know how to communicate well. And then she's like, he communicates so well. No, he don't.
No.
He doesn't. What's this dude feeling? I don't even know. Does he feel thing? I don't know.
But the moment that did
Hmm.
it for me was like when her friends came over
Hmm.
that day where like he had
Hmm.
worked, her friends came over, he met her friends, all that stuff. But then at night, she unloads on him. It's like, you didn't kiss me today. And it's like,
Yeah.
damn, like you gotta calm down. It's been one day.
Yeah.
He worked for half of the day. Part of the day he was with you and your friends. Like he went immediately to you and your friends so we can meet them. And that seemed to go well. They liked him, which is always a big deal when your friends like your partner. And it's just like
Yes.
you haven't shown me any. It's like, yo, girl,
Yeah.
you gotta like calm
Hmm.
down a bit. And then he's just like, you know what, you're being clingy. And she just like blew up. And I was like, you know what? I probably
Mm.
would have said the same thing if you're coming at me that hard. And every day she's questioning you, like every day,
Yeah.
every episode you see her, she's just like, I don't know if you love me. Or, like, I don't know how you feel. I don't. It's
Yeah.
like, girl, like he's with you. He's with. Calm down.
That that's the internal struggle she has in herself, right? Not
Yeah,
feeling enough, knowing that he saw Jess's picture, which obviously any girl would be like, "Oh crap."
that sucks. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Like we're gonna be in the same room together. Like any, like not. I don't say any guy would choose Jess over anyone else, but I'm just saying like that's a hard like. All right, the typical like like I'd feel like yeah you got me, haha, consolation prize to that. So I know she was having feelings probably based on that is her insecurities. and she was taking it out on Jimmy. And I don't want to defend Jimmy all that much. Like and not that he's a horrible person or anything. I'm just like I don't see it. He didn't do anything that wrong yet.
I think
So
in
I'm
that
just
moment he didn't do anything wrong. Like in that isolated moment, I feel like
no.
he was being attacked, and and she's like I
Yeah.
said, she's taking
Yes.
out her insecurities on him. He's just not the
Yes.
right person to handle that kind of situation. Like he's just trying.
No.
Like you can see him. He's trying to figure out like what do I say to get myself out of this? What do I, that's what I saw in his face.
Yes.
Like the wheels are turning of like what are the right words that I say? Let me try these words. Nah, you're right. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try these words. No, but I did kiss you. Okay, that didn't work. No.
Yes.
Like
That's what I think
he's
about
just
him too.
trying. And it's like, okay, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to, I don't know.
You know what it's like, George? It's like in a video game where you have the speech choices and he tries
Yes.
to pick one and
Yeah.
he'll pick like a couple of the yellow ones and then he'll pick the red and then he can't go for the green choice. That's
Yeah.
just the go.
This is his
Oh
Mass
my
Effect.
God.
This is
Yes, this is his Mass Effect. Are you gonna be a renegade or a paragon today? What are you
yeah.
gonna be, Jimmy? What you gonna be?
He's
Oh
looking to the
man.
side. Garrus, help me out. Sorry, man. I don't got you on
Please,
this one.
please. Um, I gotta say though that I loved Jimmy's female friends. And especially
Yes.
that his friend Maddie, she was adorable. Like I was like, these girls are really good. And there's some people out there who think that girls and boys can't be friends. Daniel,
Oopsie.
in this case, I was like, thank God Jimmy has female friends. I'm like, he needs that female perspective. He needs to
Yeah.
learn from women how to like talk to women and how to treat women. And he needs the women to be like, am I saying this right? And they'd be like, no, sweetheart, you need to do this. Like, I was like, Jimmy is the type of guy who needs female friends for sure.
Yeah.
And I love them so far. I was like, I like these chicks.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens the next couple episodes though, because apparently
So
Jimmy effed someone. I don't know.
seriously, that coming soon preview for the next two
Hmm.
episodes, my suspicion is that maybe he hooks up with Jess.
I don't think so.
That's my suspicion. But then my other thought is like, or did he have sex with one of his friends
Or was it something that happened in the
in the past?
past?
Yeah,
Like they're
yeah, yeah,
friends
yeah, yeah.
now.
That's what I meant. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean like it happened like recently. Like maybe she found out like, oh, like she's asking like, so how are you friends with these two girls? And
Hmm.
like then she starts to realize like, oh wait, one of them was like your girlfriend or friend with benefit or something. And if that's there,
Yeah.
that's always gonna linger. It's like it's kind of hard to permit in your mind and your heart for your significant other to be friends with someone if you knew they hooked up. Even if it
Hmm.
was just once, it's like that's enough to always just linger in your head. Like, I don't want you talking to them. What if? What if it happens
What
again?
if?
What if it
I know they really edited it in the trailer preview that it looks like it's Jess. I don't think I could see Jess doing that. And I have seen on Instagram Jess and Chelsea like communicating with one another in comments, and they're very
Oh,
nice to one another.
okay.
Very, very nice. So I'm like, I don't think it's Jess, it's just the editing. But it's got to be
Somebody.
someone.
Yeah.
Unless it's not, unless it's just Chelsea being
Being
insecure and
Chelsea?
just screaming
Yeah,
at him. Yeah.
yeah.
And she's just like, "You did it!" And and then he's just like, "Which speech bubble? Which speech option do I choose? Which one do I say? What's the right answer?"
I
Oh
only
man.
had sex with you. Damn it, that didn't work.
But then, honestly though, that was a little much for me. I actually didn't wasn't in the mood to have sex. But don't stop initiating sex. Like, don't stop initiating it. But you know what? I wasn't into it. Like, I don't know what
Yeah.
this dude's thinking, dude.
When he said that, when he was like, "Well, since you brought it up, you did initiate the sex," I was like, "Come on,
No,
man.
dude,
Do you just
please
not want to get
don't.
laid ever again? Like,
Don't.
what are you saying right now?"
Okay, well, I want to. Can we just circle back just for a minute?
Yes.
Because we didn't talk about AD and Clay outside of the pods.
Yeah, because their relationship is getting to a point now where it's questionable.
The first little thing that I thought was hilarious that they did in the show was when he was cleaning up all the dishes and plates
Yes.
and they made her look like him like he was weird and they added the music like he was doing something silly. I'm like, I do that at restaurants every time I go out. I'm like, I want to make the server's life easier. I'm
Yeah.
going to scrape and clean and stack. And they're looking at him like, what? She's looking at him like, what? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'd be like, you're so courteous. This is amazing. Like, why are
Right.
you looking at him weird?
I
So
was
like,
waiting for her to
there's
be
that.
like, "Hey, I wasn't done eating that." Because if that was the case, I
Oh,
would get it. Because there was food left on that
yes.
plate. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I was like, "Yo, you didn't eat all your fucking tostones yet, man. That's some good food there. What are you doing? What are you?" So that's where I thought it was gonna go, but she didn't say anything. So I was just like, "Wait, is she just looking at him weird because he's being tidy?
Yeah,
That's a
because he's
problem?"
being kind.
How often do
Yeah.
you see guys who do that? We're a rare commodity. Right?
Yeah.
That had me looking at her like, girl, you crazy.
Yeah, you sometimes see in this show like in past seasons more so than this one so far, like the women really nagging their men. They're like nitpicking things about them that they're like, that's weird. Why would you do that? Like that's weird. Like last season, I think it was last season, it was the guy had plastic dishes and she was like, I can't
Oh yeah,
believe you
yeah.
have this as your dishes. Are you a child? And then this season, Laura goes to Jeremy's house and she's like, why, like all your things match. This looks staged. I've never known a guy who like cares so much about silverware. This is weird. I'm like, pick one, women. What do you
Right?
want? Like, you can't ever be pleased. Like, you can't have these kind of dishes. You can't have these type of dishes. Stop nagging.
I was also the clothing,
That's
like he can't have his Hawaiian shirts.
yes,
I was like, who
please.
are you marrying, the shirt or the man? Come on. That's why I love that the other girl was just like, I love that for him. It's
Yeah,
it's like, thank you. Granted, I'm not much
I
for Hawaiian
agree.
shirts, but it's like, hey, to each their own. To each their-
I would never assume since you have like a kimono type flowery robe.
Well,
I
I told you I have an Asian wife, so Asian culture is what
yes,
I
okay. So that I just had to get that off my chest about the show about how nitpicky and naggy the women are sometimes. But anyway, go back to AD and Clay. My question is for you, George. What would you do if you were dating somebody, engaged to somebody, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh man, I really don't know if I'm going to cheat on you or not. I don't know.
Oh my God. Like
I'm worried I'm going to cheat. Everyone cheats. I don't know.
every like that's what like I was saying like before with him. It's like he had that player personality as he came into the cubes.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it immediately. And then he starts talking to her about it of like, oh yeah, every black man in my life, my dad, my people, the people I look up to, like P. Diddy. It's like, you looking up to P. Diddy? Why are you looking up to P. Diddy? Like, are you serious right now? But it's like, these are my influences. It's like no one stays true to their person. Like, and he used Will Smith. I was like, that Will Smith thing
Yeah.
only happened recently. All right. For years, we thought he was the epitome of what it was to be a man. Or okay, so
Yeah.
you should have been like, for years, I was like, I wanted to be like Will Smith, but then as of late, he disappointed me, which has me second guessing things. That could have been better. But it's like, come on, man. You had a good role model, and only recently did that role model just kind of shift.
Yeah. And
But
his wife is no saint. So let's just throw
no,
that out
yeah.
there.
If you're in question, if you can't be a good man or not, then don't even attempt to get married because you're
Right.
already aware you're
Right.
not ready yet. He's talks about going to get counseling as a therapist. Then get the therapist.
Yeah.
Get the therapist first, then go find a
Mm.
wife. Don't go find somebody and then try to work on yourself because then that poor person has to wait on you, to hope that it all works out for you. It's like, no, no.
When it comes to cheating, yes, I see. I mean, like going to therapy if you're with a couple, like whatever. Sometimes you need that support from like a person and all that. But like if you're going to therapy because you're so almost certain that you're gonna cheat, like that's something like I understand that that's like a deep rooted thing for him too, because like that's just normal to him, even though it's not normal. But it's like I would be like, if you are questioning whether you can stay loyal not just to me but to anyone, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
It ain't. I would be. I If I was her, I'd be like, nah. I don't think they should get married. Another thing that I don't like, I think this is fine and cute and whatever, but they keep being like, oh yeah, we're gonna be like this iconic couple. We're just this iconic, and I can flaunt you down the street, and we're just be like iconic. And I'm like, again, this is like Love is Blind. Being an icon couple isn't about love, really. It's like, who are you when you're poor together? Who are you when you're going
Yeah.
through rough times? Who are you in the quiet moments? Like, and when you're going through it, like, you can't be icons all the time. So if that's your focus in a relationship to be like iconic, then it's like, that's not like a deep rooted, real
Bond.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's present how you present yourself. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
know
that's
about
also
those two.
it's a very cultural thing, I will say, that
Mm,
I've come to notice just from like where I come from and everything. And
is
it's
it?
never, yeah, I've never liked it, honestly. And you'll notice that not every race or culture does that, like just for
Mhm.
argument's sake, like I've seen a lot of Caucasian couples, they generally don't talk like that. They generally won't be like, yeah, we're iconic. You know what I mean? It's like all eyes on us. It's just like, no, they're focused on each other.
Yeah, it's like, well, we're
Uh,
even allowed to be iconic anyway, so
yeah. But
don't
like,
look at us. Don't focus on us.
But for like
It's not bad.
African American cultures, like it's like they always say like, "Oh, we're all kings and queens" and stuff like that. And if
Oh, okay, okay.
there's that sense of like they gotta build themselves up because of how much they've been beaten down. So
Is
like
that what iconic means?
so that's what I think it is. That's what I think a part of it kind of deviates from. So I can understand and get what the point behind it is, but at the
Okay.
same time, it's like humility goes a long way.
Yeah.
Humble yourself a bit here. You're no better than the other couple down the street, okay? Especially if you're questioning
Hmm.
if you're gonna cheat on your girl, okay?
Yes, I know.
So
So like you can't be like, how are you gonna be an iconic couple if you're like, oh, I might cheat on you.
yeah.
No, though, all iconic couples cheat. I don't look at all my icons. They all like they be cheating. So
uh
if you want to be truly iconic, we can't be, loyal.
According to
Hmm.
who does Chelsea look like Megan Fox or Carrie Underwood? Because that got dropped out there, but Megan Fox was brought up so much. She told
Hmm.
poor Jimmy that that's what she looked like.
Hmm.
Granted, she did admit that to her, she doesn't look like her. So she let him know
Huh.
that she doesn't think that, but other people do. The look in his eyes, like I think that's why he chose her. Because he's just like, I'm
Me
gonna freaking
too.
marry Megan Fox. I'll choose Megan Fox over a mom. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I think he was thinking.
Yeah. That was in his head the whole time. I think if she didn't say the Megan Fox thing to him, he may have still chosen Jess, possibly, even though she had the kid. Possibly. But the kid
Yeah.
thing really ruined it for him, I think. I think once the kid came into effect. But yeah, the Megan
Yeah.
Fox, like, she looks nothing like any celebrity. She's her own person. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm going to chime in here.
Okay.
When she said, has anyone said you look like a celebrity? And he said, yeah, but then didn't say. He's like, what about you? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, Megan Fox. I said it to
Oh,
my
you
phone when I
saw
was
it.
watching it. Yep.
Oh, okay.
I saw it in her eye. Like, I'm talking like pre cosmetic surgery Megan Fox, like Megan Fox more au naturel. I
Okay.
definitely saw it in the eyes, the shape, the color, all that. People are all making fun of her chin, not her chin, but her mouth. I saw a little bit, and I was just like, oh, I could totally see how her face might resemble Megan Fox.
Old school Megan
I could
Fox.
see it.
Okay. Okay. You know
Yeah,
what?
yeah, like
I'm thinking today Megan Fox. I think that's what did it for me.
oh no.
I've forgotten what old school Megan Fox looks like at this point. So all I have is current Megan Fox. So current,
Okay.
she doesn't match up at all, right?
No,
I think that's
but I
fair.
mean,
But old
real
school,
Megan
okay,
Fox,
okay. I
yeah,
gotta relook at old school Megan Fox, like Transformers One Megan Fox.
yeah. Well, I'm just gonna say, like, old Megan Fox looks nothing like real, like now Megan Fox. Like Megan Fox looks nothing like Megan Fox.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
either. So like
yeah,
that, those are different people.
yeah,
But like I saw it right away. I knew what she was talking about. The eyes for sure, 100%. Those are like Megan Fox's eyes. Well, now Megan Fox's eyes are more like this because
yeah,
she has all this stuff. But yes, and then uh-oh, girl, don't say that because he's gonna expect the body. He's gonna expect the whole package to be Megan Fox like. And
yeah.
her hair's not even that dark, so I wouldn't have even said that dark hair thing. But when he saw her for the first time and then he hugs her and he looks directly at the camera when he's hugging her. I don't know. That to me it's like one of the most cringy moments. He's hugging her, he
Yeah,
like looks like,
yeah,
oh God, what? And then she's like, she lied to me. She lied. And I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, shut up. Don't say this. You know she's
yeah.
gonna see this later. Oh, I don't know. That the whole Megan Fox thing. You say no, not at all. I say I did see a resemblance before she even said it.
I was going by today Megan Fox though. By today's standards,
Yeah.
she doesn't look like her.
Yeah, because when I think of Megan Fox, I don't think about her now because I'm like, that ain't Megan Fox. That ain't your face. That ain't who you are. I think about old school Megan
She
Fox. I'm like,
paid for
oh,
it.
there
It's
you are.
hers, all right?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
She paid the
Oh,
taxes on that face. That's her face.
oh yeah. Oh, 80s had a lot of really good moments, and I was like, oh, but I didn't like the way she was talking to Jimmy at that party. She was talking to him really like, I know they're all drinking, but like, she seemed like really like, yeah, yeah. It's
Each
like,
time she's talked to Jimmy, she's been mad flirtatious.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like he just was all over you and drooling over your butt and like drooling drooling over
yeah.
your butt and like drooling over you and you're gonna to be talking to him like, yeah, and just like staying talking to him for like 15 minutes. I'd be like, haha, you made me uncomfortable. You like my butt. I'd like walk away hiding my ass. Like that's what I'd be like, don't look at me. But then she
No,
wanted
but
people to look at her because
yeah,
her
like that's
dress
the
was
thing.
so
Like she
tight.
was showboating herself the whole time,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's just like have some
Mm-mm.
self-respect, girl. Come on, man.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want people to like me for my looks. But then she goes to the party and it's like, damn, like, I don't know. Like, would you want your woman to be showing all her stuff at like a party like that. Like I don't know how guys are. Some guys
I'm
love that. Some guys are like, look at what I have, but some guys are like, this is what I have, this is mine.
I don't believe in showcasing your significant other like in that facet. Like one thing's I say if you guys are dressed up like I'm in a tux and she's in a dress, like yeah, like
Yeah.
look at us. We're decked out to the nines. But
Hmm.
like beach wear and stuff, like I'm never gonna tell my wife like you can't wear this. We neither one of
Right.
us are a you can't kind of person to each other. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I'm not gonna flaunt it. I don't
Hmm.
want other dudes looking at her. You know,
Hmm.
if it happens, it happens. Like I can't stop it, you know.
Hmm.
But like, but I don't want her showing it off in a way where it's just like, everyone look at me, look what he has,
Yeah.
and you don't. Like, I would never want that. That's
Or
gross to
like
me.
look what you don't have. Almost.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of girls are like that. Like look what you can't have. And it's like, why do you care that they
yeah.
I don't
Like
know.
you could take pride
Uh,
in your body. I think that's okay. But
yeah.
like she was flaunting it. Like she's like, all eyes on me. Everyone look at me. This is what I am. You don't got this. You know?
Yeah. It was very much like that. Yes. That's what I'm saying at that party. I like really liked her. And then at that party, I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like that. Okay, should we say like what couple? We already know what couple we're rooting for. Like, what do you like? Should we
At
say
this point,
predictions?
yeah, at this point, yeah, we want it to be Johnny and Amy. Please, Lord, let it be.
Love does not exist if Johnny and Amy don't make it. Like come on,
Like
Johnny and Amy, you got this.
I just need them to get over that freaking hump, the sex hump, then
Yeah.
sex hump. If they can get past that, I think they're gonna be fine. That's the hurdle. If they can't get over that, then I don't know. And to me, it
Right.
really falls on Jimmy because I'm more understanding on her side of things, just
Mm.
because of like my wife takes birth control just because she needs her her time in the month to be regular. That regularizes
Hmm.
everything, you know. So
Hmm.
that she needs it more for that than is to prevent anything. So
Yeah.
on Amy's side, I get that she doesn't want her cycle messed up, and it can mess up. Like if everything's nice and smooth, you don't want to mess with that. Once it's at a good
Mm.
place, and even on the guy side of things, trust. If your girl has a good cycle and she doesn't want it messed up, you don't want it messed up either. Okay,
Yeah.
it's as important for you as it is for her.
Yeah. And some birth control, like I know from personal experience, can make you go crazy, and it really affects your hormones, and you
Yeah,
could
yeah.
be it really affects your mental health, like everything. Like it's not great, like to be on some of them, especially like a high hormonal dose. Like it affects some women differently. So I understand her not wanting to go on it, but at the same time, there are other ways. There's other things, and she keeps saying a vasectomy. It's like, what do you mean? Like, are they easy to reverse? Like, I don't know.
You can reverse a vasectomy. See, that here's the thing though. There's some things about a vasectomy that people don't understand. While it is reversible, there's a time limit on the reversing. Yeah,
Ah,
because it heals up, you know,
yeah.
or like it seals over. So like if you don't get it undone within like a certain amount of years, then that's
Mhm.
it. You're done. You don't
Yeah.
it's no turning back. The other side of it, like I feel like surgeries are the extreme solution. You know, so a woman getting her tubes
Hmm.
tied or a man getting a vasectomy, that's extreme. Like there's lots of little baby steps you can do. Like you said, you
Yes.
know, besides birth control, or whatever, like I said, condoms, like there's other things.
Hmm.
Like for me, it's like you guys can also
IUDs.
be physical. You can be physical and sexual without full on, you know, penetration and down there. There's other things you can
Yeah.
do. And I felt that way also for Kenneth and Brittany. It's like you guys
Yeah.
can do sexual things without having sex. Like you get that,
Yeah.
right? And you're not breaking like the holy trinity of things.
Yeah.
Like there's foreplay things. Like why are you guys not doing that? Do that at least, because that still gets you guys connected emotionally or physically and
Yes.
emotionally, you know?
Yeah. And emotionally. Yeah. I know. To me, that was just Kenneth not being attracted to her. And then I don't know, maybe Johnny and Amy are doing that type of thing. I hope they are.
I hope so, yeah,
Weird to
because it's like,
say, but
come
I hope
on.
so.
Because
I
otherwise it's
know.
like to me it's not the place to be hard-headed about something. Like
Yeah.
especially like I find myself, and because like I'm a mama's boy, and so like I usually find myself catering to whatever the female wants in that situation. Just wear a goddamn condom. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Where to? Where to condoms?
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing, dude?
I
It's like,
know.
and
I know.
look what you're sleeping with every night. Like you're telling me like a condom is just too much, you know, that you can't sleep with her.
Well, see, I think that to him the condom's not enough. I just think he thinks it's not enough. It's not enough. That's what I'm assuming
Yeah, that he's that
because
petrified.
yes, I think he's that petrified. Yeah.
But here's the thing, like birth control isn't 100% either though.
No. It
Like
isn't.
there's no guarantee with birth control. So unless
Mm-hmm.
like he wants to wrap it up and she has to be on birth control just to like super
Yes.
play it safe. If that if
Yeah.
and to me if he is that scared, then that's when I would be on her side again of like then just get the vasectomy. If you're that afraid,
Yeah.
then get the vasectomy.
It-
Never worry
It's
about having
on
a kid.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then adopt if when you do want to have a child, you know?
Yes.
Because like
Yeah. If you're the one,
if the fear is that great.
yes. And if you're the one who's that scared, exactly, then you need to take control and matters into your own hands because
Yeah.
I'm not going to mess up my emotions and my hormones just so you can feel confident in this because yeah, trust me, you don't want that, Johnny, because some girls it doesn't affect them great, but they are the only couple I want to get married. I don't think any of the other ones should get married, and I hope they don't.
Everyone else has some kind of big hurdle or problem
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
they're not handling properly. Because at least with Johnny and Amy, they're talking about it. They're talking about
Hmm.
it, and every time we see them talk about it, it still looks like it's in a very mature and structured place where they're trying to find
Hmm.
a solution. And it never seems like
Hmm.
there's like an argument, like they're not yelling at each other, they're not angry.
No.
They're very positive and like we're gonna get through this. We're gonna figure it out. But everyone
Yeah.
else, whatever little problem arises, it's just like, oh, you guys are screwed.
Unless Chelsea marries Trevor, I don't want anyone else to get married. I don't. I think that no one else is ready. They're not the right person for you. But Johnny and Amy, go for it. I really
Yeah.
hope. And I can't wait for the wedding dress shopping episode. Oh my God. I can't wait.
Well, with
Love it.
that, we see a preview of what's to come. Obviously, Chelsea
Yes.
meets up with Trevor eventually. And, we
Yes.
know eventually this guy will meet up with Jess and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen in past seasons where sometimes people can get to try to hook up with each other. I don't think that Jimmy and Chelsea are going to get married. I think that they're going to call it off at the chapel or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. But
Mm-hmm.
do you think that after that she'll get a chance at Trevor and Trevor will give her a chance?
Don't know. I don't know because it shows them talking and it shows her getting ready for the wedding. And I'm like, is it to Jimmy though? I wonder.
By the guidelines of the show, I think it has to be Jimmy because I don't think the show would permit her to have like I don't think they're going to pay for the wedding for Trevor because they didn't go through that process. So I think it has to be Jimmy at the thing. But I think they're going to say no to each other. One of them will say no. But I think after all that and like before they have like their 1 year reunion thing, I think we're going to find out that they dated afterwards.
I want them to, yes. I want
I
them to at
think
least
so.
try. I hope so.
By what I see of the conversation, like he looks like he's putting himself out there like, hey, I'm still here. He got
Yeah,
a
it does look
haircut and
like that.
everything, you know.
No more mullet.
Yeah.
Mullet.
That haircut, I know that haircut. That's the haircut of like I gotta get rid of the old me because that old me is gross now. You know what I mean? It's like I need a new me.
Mm.
And he came to her with new me, like, check it out. You lost mullet guy. This is the new Trevor. This is the, this.
Ooh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, dudes have it too.
Oh,
We have our little things where it's just like, all right, okay, I gotta reset. I'll reset.
yeah, it's like how we dye our hair all the time. I'm like,
Yeah,
I need to reinvent myself. And then guys, yeah, they have your little
yeah.
select.
He control alt deleted and bam, new man.
There you go. Okay, yes. Control delete. I don't want AD and Clay to get married.
No,
I don't.
not with the especially if cheating's on the table. Come on.
I mean, at least he's honest. I can give him that. Like he's honest, but you're not ready for marriage if you think that way.
Here's the thing though. Here's what I see for their future. His honesty, and her taking that honesty and still rolling with it tells me that if the day comes where he does cheat,
Mm.
she's gonna give him a second chance.
Mm.
Because he's not going to cheat and she's going to find out. No, he's going to cheat and he's going to tell her like, I can't believe I did this. You deserve better. I want to be a better man for you. I'm never going to do it again. I'm going to try my hardest. And she's like, all right, because you told me whatever, we'll work through this. And we're seeing a therapist and stuff. So okay, like that's what I see happening for them. And
But yeah,
that's gross to me. It's just so gross. It's like, come on, be adults.
well, it's also like he's basically saying to her, I might cheat, but I'm telling you about it. So if it
So it's
does happen,
okay.
I told you I would. I told you
Yeah.
I could. It was a possibility. Oh, yeah, I don't like that. Please. Oh, I hope they don't get married. I mean, it's already all done, but please.
Real quick, back to Chelsea and Trevor thing. This was another thing that
Mm,
pissed me off
mm,
before the proposal, right? So I think it's the last date before the guys are going to propose to Chelsea. From my understanding, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Chelsea gave Trevor the bracelet, right?
Yes.
Right? She gave him the
Yes.
bracelet, and the whole thing was like, you touch it, and every time you touch it, I'll know that you're thinking of me.
Yeah.
Which, how sweet is that? That thing is
I know.
adorable as hell. And it's like, I want that for
I
me and my
know.
wife. I want that. I thought that was so
So
cute,
cute.
so
Yeah.
adorable. And that was like, all right, well, if you're giving him that and you didn't give it to Jimmy, then you have to be picking him, right? Like, you have to
Right.
be. Why would you go with someone else? And then to have the next date be the proposal and she doesn't go to him, she goes to Jimmy. I was like, oh, so that was a friendship bracelet. That's what that was. You gave him a
Oh.
friendship bracelet, which to me was like, that's a freaking right there to him. Going forward, like I kind of don't want Trevor to go for her, you know?
Yeah.
And there's a teenage vindictive side in me where it's just like, if you do go for her, you break her.
You break her. Oh my God. It wouldn't be hard to do. Like it
Yeah,
seems like she's very
like
breakable.
her
So,
emotions become Batman and you're just Bane and blam, break the back.
oh my God.
But that's the teenage George. Adult George is like, don't even give her the time of day. She doesn't deserve your attention. She gave you a friendship bracelet. Screw that shit. All right. You said I love you, and that's what you got in return.
He knew right away that she was the only one and he stopped going on all the other dates. This is what I'm saying about these people who want like a challenge and a chase and like to win someone over. And when it's like too easy and too comfortable and too what they want, actually, they're like, I want someone who I'm like not fully sure about me and I'm in competition with another girl with, and I want to beat Jess, so I'm gonna go with Jimmy. It's like,
Yeah,
nah,
yeah.
man. Like I ain't right. You're not ready.
So that's Love is Blind in the longest nutshell that you're gonna find.
Yes.
There are 2 episodes left. We're obviously going to watch those episodes. We'll have a recap on that in the future once it happens. Are you guys watching Love is Blind? Are we the only fools in this NASS universe that are dedicating ourselves to this show? There has to be someone else out there. If you're watching a show, let us know what you think. Who was your couples? Who was your cringiest moment? Is there someone that you hate? Should Matthew have stayed on the show? These are all the questions that we're asking, and we want you to answer. You're going to comment below and let us know. But until then, this was not a strong start. Little bonus episode. I am your host, Megan Fox. You can follow me at Nicolopolis.
And I am your co-host, Megan Fox with an H, and you can follow me at Marie Plays It All. And this is a safe Love is Blind space. No
Yeah.
judgment. Let us know what you are safe here with George and I. We feel you and understand you.
But until
So
then, you
many emotions.
can always follow us at Not a Strong Start on our Instagram, our Twitter, and listen to us wherever you listen to your podcast, or just hop on here on YouTube so you can see our pretty faces and our done up hair.
Yeah, I love your her. I'm jealous of your her.
Until next time, love is blind, but we are not.